What if you built your first $1 million company at 19 years old, and not $1 million in revenue, but $1 million in profit, and later that company ended up getting sued by Drake and some of the biggest record labels in the world? You'd think you're in a dream, but it wasn't a dream for Arib Khan. Arib's now 21 years old, and he's not making $1 million a year, but he's making...
Last year, we did close to $9.3 million in revenue.
And it doesn't just stop there. Arib's collaborating with and working with some of the biggest names on the planet, like MrBeast, TJR, Stephan, one of the biggest finance gurus, and the Pubity Group, who is the largest theme page network in the whole world, amassing over 100 million followers. So how did Arib Khan pull all of this off? Let's just rewind the story 3 years. He was sneaking into billionaires' incubators with no resume, nothing to show for himself, but hustle. This is a story of how a teenager outlearned the room, outbuilt competitors, and turned product growth into a superpower. This video isn't just about Arib's success, but he actually breaks down step by step of how you can replicate it. And to him, it's not complicated. It's a really simple process. Keep watching till the end so you can watch how Arib did this, and maybe you can replicate it yourself. That's good, dog.
Mine is cooked. So
What type of cars you got?
Tesla. Built my own Model X. And then I have a G63.
G63.
Yeah, and then I'll show you in a bit. I'm getting a new car.
Are you getting another car? So Arib, for the people watching, what do you do?
So my name is Arib. I own about 16 software companies now.
Okay.
Last year we did close to $9.3 million in revenue. It's pretty good. We also buy companies all the time. Ishan is actually one of our portfolio founders. So we bought a company last year, November. We sold for 7 figures, all cash. So that's giving us a healthy start to 2025.
Wow.
And we work with some of the biggest creators in the world.
Can you drop any names?
Yeah, I can drop some names. So right now we're building something with Stephan, who's one of the biggest finance creators. We've built stuff with the MrBeast team. We've built stuff with like the Pubity team.
So you buy, scale, and create software.
Yeah, this year we're expanding our team, and yeah, excited to see like what the year holds for us.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited too. This is actually pretty interesting. Plus, this is where you started.
Ajay and I met a while ago.
Yeah.
You should pull up that comment on the original.
Yeah.
The way that we met was like I was always trying to meet new cool people there.
Always is trying to meet new people.
And I remember this guy posted a TikTok and he was like, he was on the roof or something. I was like, yo, bro, I'm in SF. Like,
let's link.
We'll let the link. And this
is
I was
Lincoln.
Like 16, 17 at the time, and now we're here.
Now we're here. But you started off from this building.
Yes.
Which, by the way, when you invited me, looks like shit from the outside.
Now it looks a lot better. Yeah, no, this is a historic site, Fort Mason, San Francisco. It's quite beautiful. And some of the smartest minds in San Francisco spend their time in this building right here behind us.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that was like the main catalyst that really kind of trajectory of my life. And from a really young age, I've always been doing things, right?
Yeah.
It's like start off with like, selling chocolates, making clothing brands, making jewelry stores, trading stocks in high school. Like I made a lot of money even in high school just trading. That was
How much money did you make in high school trading stocks?
At some points I had made like well over 6 figures.
Before the $1 million companies, before the exit, Arib realized one thing: you can't build something great alone. That's when he stumbled into Founders Inc., a billionaire-backed incubator. If you don't know what an incubator is, an incubator helps businesses grow with support, resources, and expert guidance. Companies like DoorDash, Reddit, all went to an incubator called Y Combinator. Except Arib didn't go to YC, he went to Founders Inc. And all these incubators are built for one purpose: to basically attract the smartest builders in the world. In exchange, these incubators typically get a piece of the pie. And the craziest part about all of this is Arib wasn't invited to this incubator. He didn't even have a company, and he just showed up anyways. What started as him giving 2 strangers a ride ended with him walking to a room where real products and companies are built.
So then walk inside, I met this guy and his name is Farza. He's a Pakistani dude, 26 at the time. He had made this company called Build Space. He raised like $10 million. So I had never met like a Pakistani dude that has ever done like anything like that. Like he was like very traditional doctor, engineer, whatever. And then I learned that the guy that owned the place was also Pakistani. He was a billionaire. So then it's like, what do these guys know that I don't know?
And he just kept coming back, watching and learning and quietly observing how great teams work. And when the time came to offer value, he knew exactly where he could win: distribution, helping these companies get eyeballs on their business, basically getting them attention. So this is when you're like 16, 17.
And then Farza was like, yo, like, we need to help with growth. And I was like, dude, I'll do it. Like, I was making like 10 TikToks a day. Like I would be traveling all the time back and forth between school.
So then you're sending in these TikToks. Are you getting more growth for Build Space?
Yeah, so I think more along the lines I was learning how to like really truly learn the hustle of like distribution and how to drive product growth and whatnot, and also lead a team. And And over time, like those skills became very valuable. So after 3 months, 4 months, Farza was like, hey, look, so he was like, either you come join us full time, or he was like, yeah, you gotta keep going to school and you gotta figure it out, man. And I was like, my parents are never gonna let me drop out. And that was like the saddest day. I was like, damn, bro, like I've been dealt the cards and now I have to basically choose what to do next. It was like, all right, cool. Like I've learned like the leadership side of stuff, the distribution side of stuff. What am I lacking on? It was like engineering side of stuff. I'm gonna just become like the best engineer possible. Over time, I had built like multiple products, and month 3 comes around. Like I hear about this like new voice agent product that came out, and it was like voice articulation. It was a model called SVC. The basis of the model was like you can upload an audio clip and you can convert it into like an audio of like someone famous. And I saw regular people trying to use it, like not just engineers. And when you see like regular people that are not engineers trying to learn code just to use a product, that's an interesting moment, right?
You're like, and people need this.
Yes, exactly. I was like, people want to use it. So then I was like, all right, cool, let me just like get it onto a website. And so I met like another even better technical co-founder named Sabraze. We built this product in like a few days.
The product is called Musicfy.
Musicfy, yeah. And a few days later, I launched it. First day, 10,000 signups. Second day, 15,000 signups. They did new signups every day, and it was just like pretty much Ariana Grande, Drake, Kanye, a few other people, and you upload an audio clip and press put those in.
Wow.
And and by I think day 5 we had 25,000 new signups on E5.
So people are just like just naturally like
sharing it. Yeah.
Wow. So it's all organic growth.
Yeah. So like what happened was like very quickly like this thing went from like a small thing to like a pretty big deal.
And you weren't even monetizing; it's free.
Completely free, and I was losing money actually.
Yeah, so this is something a lot of people don't talk about. Even like, the Cal AI guys and all these guys, is how much did it actually cost you to create this, and how much does GPU cost?
These GPUs were costing like 2 to 3K a day at that time, and I had like 15K to my name. Right? I was just losing like half my net worth, like quarter of my net worth a day. I had to slowly monetize it, and I was like, all right, cool. Like I'm 17, like I can probably pull some strings with these big ass AI companies. Hey, like student project, give me some credits.
Yeah.
So I pulled every string possible. I think I finessed over like 30K in credits over like 2
Wow.
Yeah, we monetized it as well. And so I was like, yo, this is the dumbest paywall. But I was like, all right, $1 for unlimited usage. Yep. Like when I did that, within the first day, I had like $13,000. And so it's like, holy shit, 13,000 people put in their credit card information. Like, what? Like that is a really interesting metric. Like I wonder how much they're willing to pay. Yeah, first month we made like 30K. Second month we made like 70K, and the third month we made like 99.8K. And
Musicfy wasn't just going viral; it was bending the rules of the music industry, and that's when some of the biggest players stepped in. Universal, Sony, all sending him cease and desist letters, telling him to shut it down. But instead of folding, Arib got smarter. He stripped the models from the site and gave the power to the users. You want a voice? Just train it yourself. Here's how. Gave them a DMCA policy, user-generated content, legal pressure flipped into a product pivot. What a smart guy.
So after the initial kind of growth, we were like, we have hella money. And I was like, all right, cool, we need to spend this to keep growing.
Yep.
And we realized like the way we could do that was like just paying people on TikTok that were making like these AI like songs.
Yeah.
Put our link in their bio. Created this affiliate system as well.
Yeah.
Okay, look, total generated from affiliates for Musicfy.
This is real. $526,000. One of his affiliates has made $127,000.
Yeah.
So these affiliates, did they find you, or did you go out and find your affiliates?
Yeah, so affiliates is like one of the models that I would say we're some of the best like product builders in the world for specifically knowing how to make our affiliates work hard. One thing for sure that we did was like the best affiliates are going to be the people that pay for your product and love it, right? Because they're going to want to share it.
Yeah.
So SEO, TikTok short form. I also was doing like my own like media run. I don't think that made any difference, but I like increased my own lore.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I think that's good for like future products for myself. So, you go in from being the kid that everyone's like, this kid's cool, but he's not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
Like the kid that now has like one of the most profitable businesses there.
Musicfy blew up. Millions of users, 7 figures in profit. But after all this hype is when the pressure came. Can he do it again? Or was it just timing? People assumed Arib got lucky. But in some ways, maybe he did. But Arib also knew what worked. And now, he was gonna double down on it. This time, no chasing trends, no overbuilding, and just ruthless focus on what actually works. Before writing a single line of code, he mapped out the entire growth strategy. Locked in a team, including Musa and Daniel, 2 guys that had reach on Instagram and TikTok with hundreds of thousands of followers. And he chose a market, then came the product, Crayo. Perfect market product fit. He already had the distribution, aka what he's king at, Daniel and Musa, and he had the product. Put them all together to build his next million business. How'd you even think of the concept of Crayo? Did you just see Musa and Daniel?
It was like, I just realized like I wanted to build something in like the visual space again, and like video editing was interesting. And then I did a video with Jordan Welch. I went to Miami, and
You talked about Musicfy at the time.
Yeah, and I met this kid named Daniel, and I was telling him about the scriptwriter tool, and like eventually that formed into like this idea about like a video editor. And then in Dubai, we hung out with this kid named Musa, and his content, like he was gonna make 10K a month from TikTok. I kept mentioning CapCut, and I was like, what if you just replace that CapCut section with like a different product? So we started in January. In July, 6 months later, we made 550K in revenue, about 490K net.
So you only had $60,000 in expenses? And you didn't need AI for that either, right?
Oh, I think we did. We were just really good at what we do. They did what they were supposed to do. We had many, we butted heads after that. Then I exited in November of 2024.
You got paid out. And what would you do differently?
I think one thing is like giving creators a lot of equity is not necessarily a great thing. I think that was like one of the big mistakes. And also like ignoring cues that I shouldn't ignore just because someone I think is like really good at something.
Okay.
Right? So it's like someone's a great engineer or someone's a great content person, but they have this bad thing about them. Like I'll just ignore that because they're so this, right? I think those are things that I've learned over time to now. I think like it not working out, like let me work on other things. And I think I'm way more excited for what we're working on now. And right after that, literally in November, we bought that company, right?
Yeah.
And now we just sold that.
You made your first million at 19 years old from Musicfy. What was the first thing you bought?
I didn't buy anything. I just kept buying stocks and kept buying like random shit. And we started taking PJs and started getting like nicer things.
And as you've gotten wealthier, have you just found to meet more wealthier people?
Yeah. One of my friends, Patrick, $9 million a month, man.
In revenue?
Profit.
Holy shit.
And he's like 21. Yeah, I've just been essentially just like investing most of my money. I just like buy properties, like
Buy businesses.
ROI, good on them, you know?
So how has money changed your life since you have more money now?
Just freedom, man. Freedom, I think, is like the number one thing. Not to say that you can't enjoy life without money, it just makes it easier with money.
Has you becoming a millionaire made you happier?
Yeah, I would say so. I think there's a level of respect that I now get. You meet with people now, they like stand up tall, shake your hand properly. Like it's not just like random kid. I got bullied a lot in elementary school and high school. You should remember, I was always doing these things and people would be like, oh, this kid's like a joke, selling t-shirts.
What do you think is the best city to live in? If you had to pick one. Dubai, why is that? Where do you
halal
think?
food, everything's halal. Cool area, cool luxury. It's great if you have money.
Would you ever want to move to like Puerto Rico, like a lot of these, or some of these guys?
Some of my friends live in Puerto Rico, so I think TGR, we have a company with them.
You had Musicfy, you had Crayo, and then now you have another 14 plus more, right? And last year you did 9.8 million in revenue. With me speaking, you don't even disclose a lot of the companies that you have on 24 Labs.
Yeah, now we have like 16 plus.
16 plus. Some of these you created yourself. How do you identify what company you want to create?
Yeah, I think it's just look at markets that there's like a big demand for something. It's like classic company building. We don't really care about building the best product. We care about having the best growth and distribution model. It's just that saying PMF, like product market fit. We call it like MPF, so it's like marketing product fit.
So it's marketing product fit.
Yeah, can you market your product better than everyone else?
How are you getting the inspiration? Because obviously like anybody could say like, go find a good market and go build there, right? Are there any more nuances or things that you're more particular about when you're creating these?
Yeah, I think we definitely look at like what other people are building and like how, like what are the results of that, revenue of that, whatever it might be. And I blatantly will tell you, like we copy products that are out there that are like interesting, like big companies that just are stagnant. The Crayo is not anything revolutionary. It's like just another video editor. It like has like AI before it and just like better marketing. And that's kind of what we do, and we do that at scale. Like now we have like tons of companies.
Can you list a few?
So one is called views.gg, which is like an AI UGC platform to make AI content. It's like icon.me. It's like a clone but better. Like straight up, I made a tweet about Icon.
Okay, so you're competing with Icon.
Yeah.
And you did make a tweet about them.
Yeah,
Can I address that?
Yeah.
So you stole an idea from a company that's backed by like tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And you think you can outcompete them. And you said icon.me is a scam. How are you gonna charge $1,000 a month and not let users cancel? There's no cancellation button anywhere on the site. The product doesn't even work. The funniest part is that they don't even use their own tool for their ads. The real reason they're making money is because they're burning VC cash on paid ads, not made on Icon. Is that correct? But icon.me is like really pushing ads and you think you can compete with them?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't need to beat them. I just like need to make like I know I can go make money in the market because I can.
Yeah, so you can make like you can take this from 0 to 1 and make 100.
Yeah. So that's one. Then we have another product called Ravana, which is tryravana.com, revenue recovery for e-com stores.
Yeah.
That like is really, really good. We're recovering like tens of thousands of dollars a month for brands, and
You're recovering tens of thousands of dollars for e-commerce stores.
yeah, and that's using text and calls, like phone call agents. So for example, you abandon a checkout on a store, we will text you, we will call you, and we will recover that offer. That is doing great. That's been in the works for 6 months. Sabraze and I are co-founders in that.
So then you also said in November you bought a company.
Yeah.
In November. How much you guys buy it for, if you don't mind me asking? Like rough estimate.
6 figures.
6 figures.
Yeah.
And then you guys ended up selling that recently for 7 figures. So I want you to break down first off, like one, how do you scale an AI like or SaaS platform from 0 to 100K? First, how do you find an idea?
Okay, cool. So it's actually not as hard as it seems. It's like, I think most people think about building companies with the approach of, there's 2 approaches. There's like product. I'm gonna build the best product. The second approach is like growth. It's like, I'm gonna have the best growth. And then there's a problem as well, you know? Right? So it's like, either they find a problem that they want to deal with and they're like, okay, I'm gonna solve this problem, or they find a product that they think is good and they build that product, or they find a growth channel that they think is good. And only like 2% of people actually really do this. Like, I would say like
95% of people just
95%, 98% do these two, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting metric. Like, why do 98% of people do these things? And when this one is like the highest guaranteed win rate. And the reason for that is like, when is the best time to sell a Lakers jersey? Like, I want to build the best Lakers jersey. Great, you made the best Lakers jersey. How are you gonna sell it? Make the jersey, okay, find customers, ads, content, so much shit, right? Just like a bunch of random channels, right? Right? But like the growth person isn't actually gonna sell like that jersey unless they had that figured out. So for example, the best time to sell a Lakers jersey is like game 7 when they're up by like 1 point and it's like the 4th quarter and it's like you're in the middle of the arena. So it's like, if you have access to that, you should probably sell a Lakers jersey, right?
Yeah.
So then all he has to do is get jerseys. And when he gets jerseys,
so you're saying
fucking revenue, right? Like, just like,
But that's I think most people will be lost here is like, just focus on growth.
Yeah,
this is it. But then let's say I am a growth operator. Like, let's say me.
yeah.
I know how to get distribution. I'd say one of my biggest challenges is, what do I sell?
Yes, that's
'Cause
another
I can get distribution anywhere, as you know.
That's another thing, right?
Let's take SaaS for example, right? Like, I want to really focus on SaaS because that's been your bread and butter.
Give me an example of like what growth advantage you have.
But let's say I'm a nobody. I don't have growth advantages, but like I can figure out content. Like, you can always figure it out, right? Like, you can go in DM pages, get access to them. But I think the first thing that I think people are always going to wonder is like, what product do I even choose?
First of all, I think to make it clear, like doing these 2 things is a lot easier than like having this. But,
Really?
like,
For me, that's quite the opposite.
yeah, for some people it's quite the opposite, but for most people, like having a growth advantage is insanely difficult. Like, they don't know anyone in that space, they don't do content.
You don't even need to know people. You should just send fucking emails and
Yeah, people
DMs.
don't do that. People don't do that.
Call it laziness.
So, okay, cool. So your question is,
How do I pick the product? Then how do I attack the market afterwards?
Okay, cool. So
'Cause you've done a
actually
really
don't
good job
pick
with it.
the product until you know the market.
Okay.
And I think it's like you're still looking at it from the lens of like, all right, like, okay, let's say I have views, like what do I build to sell to my audience? It's actually, who is your audience and what do they buy? Like, that is the questions you should be asking. So it's like, who is your audience? Like, do you know? If you don't know, you should spend time doing that. Like I think that's
What if I don't have an audience?
then you shouldn't even think about building or selling anything. Then you should be figuring out how to do this. Find like your growth advantage. But when you get this money, then that's all the way has to come back to is growth.
More growth.
And that's a different, it's not the same channel now, right? It's actually a different channel. And that channel is like UGC or creators. Yeah.
Let me ask you this though. So with this growth, you're going after Graham, Stephan, TJR, and you're building them their own product, or are you building a product that you're paying them? Like,
No, I'm more like, okay, like what markets are really interesting and fun? And like, I thought that market was interesting. Then I look into my own network and see what growth advantages I have. Then I like establish.
You're like, I know
those
Graham, Stephan, and
I
TJR.
establish those advantages. Then I figure out like what product I need to sell.
And how do you even propose something like that to them?
I'm just like, hey, look, like I'm gonna build something in this market. Like, I think that it would be sick to work with you. I think like this is why you win, and this is why we win. For them.
And can you say what you're working on with Graham, Stephan?
We're working on a few things, but one of them is along the lines of like a points tool, like that's gonna help you maximize your credit card points.
What's the estimated revenue you think that would do when you launch it?
I think we can get that one to like 10 million a year.
10 million a year. What's your like mission statement for this company? Do you plan on just going after more creator brands? Do you plan on just creating brands yourself? Blend of like some creators?
Just have fun, bro. Literally, truly, that's it. Like I think
Just have fun.
if people like underestimate, like I'm not like a genius or anything. I just like doing things that I find exciting, and like I don't really care anymore about like the money necessarily.
Yeah.
Because the money is a great indicator of like how well you built something or how well you distribute something. And
It's a good metric.
time.
It's good. Yeah, you plan on building mosques?
yeah, we're building a mosque right now.
Really?
Sierra Leone, yeah, West Africa.
Congratulations, bro. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Giving back to the community. I've donated your project Ifran as well.
Thank you, Project
Yeah.
Iftar. Yeah, we feed like last year 100,000 people. Last year, this year I think the numbers haven't come in, but it's like
That's
similar
awesome.
to a little bit more.
What's your long-term play with all of this? Like 24 labs.
Just keep having fun, building cool shit with my friends, and I don't know, make like tons of money. Ideally, that would be cool.
Any like solid firm goals of like where you want to be at in the next 5 years?
No, not really. I feel like I don't necessarily. I think a lot of people that tell you where they want to be the next 5 years actually don't really know. Like I could just quit startups altogether, like because I just don't like it anymore. That can also happen.
Yeah.
I think people forget that. Like I think my life up until now has just been a series of things that I've liked doing, did them, and got really, really good at them, and then just did something else.
Are you a big like long-term thing, or are you just like day by day? Let's just attack.
Long-term and short-term, like I think like, you know, plan for the future and like plant your seeds, but at the same time like also enjoy now.
Yeah.
Life is short. Don't always plan. Also do the things that you want to do. I want to travel, hang out with more friends, do more cool shit, buy more cool buildings.
What's one piece of advice that you would give to anybody starting off in any space, or even the software space, of what they should do?
I think it's one piece I really like is spend so much time on self-improvement that you have no time to criticize others. It's pretty good.
That's actually a really good piece of advice.
Yeah. You don't waste your time on others.